Yes, they say the probability of finding true love in a lifetime is between 3 to 5%. That is very narrow, but it's not because love is very rare to find, but it has issues like timing, alignment, and all those other details right there. But yeah, regardless, we have nothing to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the glory of love. Welcome on the show one time. Yes, last week we were here and with Bonita talking about friendship, why so many friendships are breaking right now in this generation and all that. But my main issue was how friendships between people of the opposite sex can actually culminate into a romantic relationship, and that is where the core of the entire discussion was meant to be. But then we couldn't go that extreme because of time factor. But today, that is where we're picking up from. And of course, usual suspect, just like I promised you last week that she will be back. And indeed, she's very back. And here we are with Bonita on my set. You're most welcome, Bonita.
Thank you very much, Sugar.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How are you feeling?
Great.
Okay, it's a weekend, the vibes are so high. I don't know what you're up to, but we're here again to talk about love. Now, last week it was friendship mostly, and the focus was on why the friendships are not lasting. But today I've taken it to a level where I'm now looking at this friendship between two people of the opposite sex and the possibility that it can actually culminate into a romantic relationship, because they say the best romantic relationships actually start with friendship. I don't know whether you believe in that.
So we'll start with, first of all, friendships transitioning into
romantic relationships.
Into romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Research really shows us 66% of the relationships start as friendships.
Okay.
But it's not 100%. So meaning there's that
40.
There's that 40, the percentage that is left. So definitely, like any other aspect of life, there are disadvantages and advantages.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want as an individual. And maybe we could talk about the advantages of, transitioning. I don't know.
Okay, let's start from there.
Yeah, so of course, if you've had this person as a friend, there is a head start for a new relationship. Like, you're not shooting in the dark. This person, there's open communication, there is a certain level of trust, there's a certain level of bond that you people have built.
Yeah.
Compared to when you're starting from meeting, you're meeting a stranger and you're starting from yes, you're starting from zero basically. So I feel like there's a better communication on the good side.
Yeah.
There's better communication between the two of you, which is a very good thing. Like we've spoken before and said that communication is a bedrock of any relationship.
Yeah.
And then also, maybe the other advantage of you dating your friend, should we say dating? Should we say?
Could be just, you can use any word. I'm sure they will understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, so we've talked about the communication bit of it, and then maybe the other advantage we could also talk about is there's low level of anxiety. You're not anxious about this person.
Yeah.
This is not a new person you're meeting. So you're not trying to impress a lot. Like, how can I say, there's a certain level of ease between you and the other person, because this is your friend. They know, they've seen your strengths, they've seen your weaknesses. So there's no...
It's already a warm relationship.
Yeah, so the anxiety is not really as much as when you're starting from.
Okay. Now, I want us to be strategic, because the main the main effort I want us to put in this episode is helping that person who already has the intentions within them, just to bring them out so that they can give them results. Say, for example, we're going to deal with it on the two sides. Let's say, for example, the lady is the one who has developed the urge. She feels, this friendship has been so fruitful, it has been so nice, it is high time it becomes, a romantic relationship, and probably she sees a future between her and this guy. Are there baby steps that she can employ, or some tactics to ignite?
I feel like there's no baby steps. It's basically communication.
Okay.
It's either communication or communication, because you're not going to play around something that you don't know what the other person thinks about your friendship. And sometimes it's one-sided. you may want the relationship and the other person doesn't actually want it.
So how easy is it for this lady to open up?
Talk about it.
And that's where the problem is, because so many of them say, how do I start this conversation? Will I not be looked at as, you know, someone who is a man chaser? And where does this leave me? We know, we incline so much as Africans to our culture, and our culture really does not push us in that direction. So why I've started with the lady is because that's where the biggest hardship is. Regardless, someone told me that the ladies of this generation are not that shy.
Oh, okay. For the sake of the lady, I think I gave it for the other side.
Yeah.
For the lady, it's a bit tricky because it comes off as you pursuing somebody.
Exactly.
And definitely from the biblical perspective, you're supposed to be pursued.
Now, that's where I want to ask the question. Let's leave the biblical aspect, maybe culture and all that. Let's just bring it in a general format.
Yeah.
Is it wrong or is it evil for a lady to pursue?
I'll give you an answer based on what I believe, because everybody has beliefs.
Their own beliefs, yeah.
You've seen people from certain cultures. The lady will actually walk up to you and tell you they like you.
Yeah.
I'm typically African. And a Bible scholar. So I'll give you my answer based on what I believe in.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe a lady is supposed to be pursued, regardless of what you feel and all the other aspects that tag along. You're supposed to be pursued by a man. So I feel it is not the right thing for you to walk up to someone and tell them, you know what, I actually like you. That is me. But you could also give us your...
So where the pursuing does not happen, are you going to go back to let go and let God?
Exactly.
Well, I think, yeah, you're right from by saying that it comes with what your beliefs are and where you come from. Culturally, our lives are influenced differently. So if in your own chamber you feel it's okay for you to pursue, please go right ahead and pursue your guy, because you may miss just like that. Just like I've told you, finding true love in a lifetime, you can see the percentage, very slim, 3 to 5.
Yeah.
So that means the alignments and all those other aspects, the goals and all that, for all those to fit in one place is not easy. So where you feel there is a percentage of all that has matched up to like good enough for you, please dive in and give it a try. But if you're coming from Bonita's point of view, please don't make yourself uncomfortable and try to, fish where you're not comfortably fishing. All right, what about on the side of the guy? Now, this is where, though I would really want to find out if there's anything the lady can do other than just direct pursuing that could ignite or set the ground, level the ground for this guy to know that I think, yeah, these are the signs. These are some, I think I'm seeing some signs. Are there signs that a lady can use as a signal, as a beacon?
I wouldn't want us to look at the signs, because I wouldn't want us to base so much on signs.
Yeah.
It's that would be a contradictory statement for what we've already established. We've said that communication kills assumption.
Yeah.
And in this particular scenario, we're looking at the lady not being the one in position to pursue the gentleman. So I think we could actually just ignore the signs, because signs can be misleading. They can be misleading. They can
be misread as well.
You've seen people who say, she smiled back at me, and that means she's positive. And yet, I'm just a person that loves smiling, and probably I'm just very friendly. And someone is totally misled because they saw this person being good to them, they're being nice to them. And they forget that sometimes not everybody that's nice to them is probably after a drink in return. So it's very important that you get very clear communication.
Okay.
So for the lady, there are terms that people use, and I don't believe in those terms. Position yourself right, and but I think I've said it in a yes, I've said it in a very kind way. Kwetega is
too harsh.
It's harsh. It's more like you don't, I don't know, but I feel it's very
like
harsh.
There's no value. You're just trying to force a situation.
Yes, because if someone actually has eyes for you, they will pursue you. Like they will see you, you'll be very visible. You don't need to come and sit in front of them and show them, hey, I am actually here. I don't believe in that.
That is too extreme.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a beautiful piece of advice right there. I think banaye okwetega tukusalemuko salako ku pressure, because what she's saying is very right. Bwe wetega omuntu, you give them the signal of desperation. You make them feel like your value has deteriorated. You may be in a rush or something. And I've actually talked to a cousin brother of mine who told me he let a lady go because she looked desperate. After just introducing her to his family as a friend, she started using them, like buying their love so that they can compel him to start dating her. Yeah. And when he read the signs and understood them, he cut her out. You see how weird that is? Well, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, I want now Bonita to get to the side of the boy child, because I know not everyone actually knows what to do in such a case, because we are looking at a point where now there's alignment. The lady is interested and you are interested as well. But now there is some small block of ice that has developed in between. You realize that sometimes even if you were close friends, the moment you begin to, understand that now this is about to shift, there's a way some ice develops automatically and breaking it becomes very hard. And usually what we're emphasizing here is it is your role as the guy to actually break that ice. How and when is what we're coming back to talk about. Let's take a break. When we come back, so much more for you. All right, welcome back. I hope you are enjoying yourself. Allow me to first big up my stylist today. Yes, today I have worked with Ashim Fashions. Yes, this guy is located in Seta. Yeah, for some of you who are around Mukono, Seta area, but he's also approachable. You can find him on all socials. Look for Ashim Pro. Or else you can actually use the numbers that are running on the screen and you'll be in position to get in touch with him. He also told me he has a new collection of some jeans, that is denims, some corporate wears. Just like you see me looking like a golfer, yeah, he can get you something like this. He can get you even more than just that. So please look for him and give him business. You won't be disappointed. And equally, I want to send some love to all my guys from Makerere University. Yes, you told me you catch the show so much. And yeah, for the time we were off, you were missing us so much, man. We are back. I hope you are now learning something or taking some notes and enjoying yourself on the show right here. Well, we still proceed, and I'm still with Bonita. And just like I promised you earlier, we're coming back to help the boy child. So boy child, get your pen and paper. It is time to take some notes. Yes, Bonita.
So in this particular scenario, we're talking about the boy child, we're talking about the friendship in the first place.
Yeah.
So as much as his role is to pursue this person, I think there are factors he has to look at, because remember there was a friendship in the first place.
Exactly.
So he has to think very critically. First of all, there's the friendship stroke the relationship that he wants to transition. He wants the friendship to transition into a relationship.
Yes.
So I feel like he has to critically, first of all, think, what if this doesn't work? What if what he wants does not actually materialize? What will happen?
Preparation.
Yes.
Okay.
Like he has to sit down with himself, think through before he actually talks to the other person. And of course, the friendship is at risk of irrevocable loss.
By the way.
Because at the end of the day, you're not sure if the other person will be in position to embrace your idea. He could have felt that way alone.
Yeah.
He could be in it alone, and
That's
this
very
person
possible.
But like purely looks at it like the platonic friendship that it was in the beginning. So the boy child has to be very, very, very certain that maybe if this person doesn't agree to what he's proposing, there could be a possibility of irrevocable loss, because sometimes it may never be the same again. Or let me say it actually happens and the relationship doesn't work out, because now we're looking at friendship versus relationship.
Yeah.
Not every relationship can be, not every friendship can transition into a relationship.
Platonic may fail to go into romance.
Yes. Because I feel like when you're with a friend, there's so much openness to it. But the moment the romantic bit of it comes into play, you're like walking on eggshells.
Exactly.
There is so much tension. Even when people believe, oh yeah, this is my friend, if I date them, there will not be that pressure, it will come.
But how do you know that the risk is worth taking? Like, in the course of, seeing that, okay, I think I need to transition, but then there's a risk factor. How do you know that this risk is worth taking, or I think I need to withdraw? Now,
that is purely for the boy child to assess, because he's not going to pursue.
Okay.
Like any business, even when you're starting a business, you're not sure, will it work, will it not work, will I make...
Try and error.
Yeah, will I make the profit? So you have to be ready for whatever the other person puts on the table.
Okay.
Because she might say no, but then now that no, the friendship may not go back to the platonic, pure friendship you had.
Yeah.
So the boy child has to also be ready for rejection. Like, prepare your heart and be ready for rejection.
Rejection. That is the, it's a word that it's a vocabulary that men do not like. When a man gets rejected, psychology says the pain is as hard as physical pain. When you tell a guy no, there's a way it rings a different bell at the back of his mind to make him think like he's not worth it, he doesn't deserve at all, there's no future for him, he's not man enough. So each one of them perceive it very differently. And that's a very big topic that I think we need to come back and talk about. How do you, there's in football, there's what we call fair play. You lose a game, you still have to give a handshake to your opponent. How do you take it that easy is another trouble right there. So rejection. So at this point, as he's preparing and getting ready for rejection, knowing that in case I am rejected, I should be in position to take it in good faith. Is it possible to maintain the friendship even after rejection, and how?
I think that goes back to what we just earlier talked about, the irrevocable loss. You're not sure, because at the end of the day, in case me as a girl, I'm not interested, or I'm not looking at you in that perspective, I could drift away, because now I'm thinking, let me just, maybe we have become too close, maybe we hang around together, we are doing business together, and then it has brought that kind of closeness, and you are probably sure that if I ask this person out, they won't refuse. So on the end of the girl, if I'm not interested in this particular relationship, I may be forced to, in my mind, I'll be like, maybe I'm giving him a green light by my actions, which are purely without intention.
Yeah.
So I may be forced to draw back. If we are doing business and meeting up every day, I'll be forced to, okay, let's meet like twice a week.
Yeah.
Because I want you to get over it and know that this person actually doesn't look at me in that light. So definitely the friendship may not stay the same. Yeah.
I understand. Wow. So I think this is one thing that you should be ready for. Prepare your heart. It's not for the weak. Yes, you need to be like a man, a boy, but now in a man's skin, to be in position to balance all this, because all this is part of what you have to do. And of late, by the way, I saw a post yesterday where a lady was complaining, saying that the men of these days are not that persistent. You just say no sometimes to test and see if he can continue to pursue you, and the guy has given up. And that's where the trouble is. So when do I know that this no is a no, not a no? How do I make the difference between the no's? Because let's say, for example, she's rejecting me, but not with the intention of completely getting rid of me. There are guys who may not make the difference. Like a no, which is allowing me to continuously persist so I can get more results, or the no that is completely telling me, never bring this up again.
I think that goes back to personal, like your character. It goes back to how you perceive things, how you look at different things in different ways. Because if you don't want to assume, like we said, assumption is the worst. If someone has said no, don't go back and start thinking, maybe she will say yes later. No, take it for a no. like take it for a no. Focus on your mind on other things.
Yeah.
If it ever happens and probably this conversation crops up again, probably she'll have changed her mind, or you've looked at things differently. But then there are people who stick around. You know, you've told someone no, and then they're like, she'll allow. So they
and that's the majority.
Yeah, they stick around, do things for you. You've had people who say, I gave her this, I offered her this, I've done this for her. But you've had the conversation with her and she told you, I am not interested, you know? And then before you know it, they're saying the girl child is bad.
Oh my goodness.
They call them funny names. But if we all acted as mature people and knew that if someone has said no, they mean no, take it for that.
So this comes with a lot of maturity.
Yes.
You need to think mature, you need to reason mature, and yet be childish enough to play around and don't take things too serious or too personal. Oh my goodness. That's why I told you this is not for the weak. Okay. Rejection is one heartbeat right there. It's a tough shot on the head, but of course, yeah, you have to learn how to work around with it. Time is never our best friend. You know, anytime we chip in and then we start these conversations at the depth of it all, before you know it, you check your time, it is ticking off. Anyway, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we shall basically now be giving advice, slight guidance here and there, and still, of course, discussing love and love. You can be part of the show, probably share your own situation. What happened to you when you were trying to switch from platonic to romantic? Did it succeed? How did it succeed? What was your punchline that helped? Or else, if it failed, how did you handle it? Are you still friends? Or that was the end of it? Up to now, you may meet again in hell or heaven. We'll be back. Come back once again. We are now at the tail end of the show. If you're just joining us right now, probably you have come a little bit late, but better late than never. Just get to know that this show happens every single Saturday at exactly 9:30 p.m. We will be right here on your number one channel, that is Magic One TV. And of course, talking love and love and love. Yes, I know there are those who always come into the inbox, especially now that we are asking you to join our WhatsApp group. You want to also come on the show. Yes, it comes with terms and conditions. Please bear with me when I ask you those questions and give me the right answers, because I want to see if you suit the show. Yeah? Not for bad. Like, I just want you to come on set to be in position to deliver. And then you can also catch us on our YouTube channel. Yes, the YouTube channel is in my name. Look for MC Sugar on YouTube. You can actually catch this and other earlier on episodes. And if you're watching us from YouTube, we appreciate that so much. Please don't forget to press the subscribe button and hit that bell so that anytime we upload a new episode, you'll be among the first people to know that, yeah, these guys have another episode that you can watch. Otherwise, there's a friend of mine called Lydia Wealth. Yes, Lydia, how you doing? Straight from Soroti. You say you're a big fan of the show. I appreciate that you actually said you want to come on the show. Well, when you come to Kampala, we can definitely arrange for that. I know you are also very, very, you have a lot to share. I always see you on your YouTube channel doing a lot of coaching here and there, which is so beautiful as well. Well, we're now here with Bonita. We want to finalize this topic of how you can actually transform a relationship from platonic with someone of the opposite sex to romantic. Whether it has failed or succeeded, this is now where we are. So we're going to look at these two stages at the same time. Let's start with the person who has tried and failed. What next for him? And then also the person who has succeeded. What next?
I've given an example of business. If someone has tried and failed, and probably there's no hope for the friendship to stay the way it was, let go and let God.
What about if there's hope for the friendship to stay?
If there's hope for the friendship to stay, well and good, because there are friendships that have actually stayed.
Yeah.
As much as they have, it's on a minimal level, there are those that have stayed. So you have to be very open, very receptive to whatever life throws at you. And this is just a basic principle of life anyway. Whether it's in school, whether it's in the corporate world, whichever it is.
Okay.
This principle can still apply even in the relationship.
Is it possible for that one whose friendship has stayed to pop the question up again after some time? Is there a time period that he can measure?
No, I feel like now that is you stooping too low, because if someone has said no, why are you pushing on? Why are you pressing on? First of all, it's the same thing that I've had men say, if a girl asked me out, I would run away. I'll be like, this one.
That's true.
So it's the same thing with when you press too hard. Sometimes you become irritating. Sometimes you come off as someone that is very desperate, even for the girls. So I feel like if someone has said no, take it for a no and focus your mind on other things. If it ever happens naturally or whatever, it's not coming from your end, and this person will actually respect you, that you respected their decision.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to the other one now. She said yes, and is it possible to maintain the lines of the friendship and also the romance and blend the two?
That is now entirely, I feel like it's entirely between the two people.
Yeah.
Because basing on the earlier friendship, and maybe this has transitioned, they actually have to sit down and know that, you know what we are entering is not what we already had. Because sometimes when the transition happens, one of the disadvantages that I can actually point out is the two people are blinded to red flags. Because initially it was platonic. There was basically nothing more. Now there's more expectation. There is you all have a part to play in this, you know. So both of you may be blinded to the red flags. So it calls for a lot of communication, a lot of sitting down and drawing a roadmap of how you're going to navigate this whole thing.
So you shouldn't assume that it's an obvious, since we've been friends, let's just proceed and pull it the way it has been moving.
Not at all, because it's a transition. You're moving from one level to another. Yeah.
Meanwhile, this one is a little bit personal. Say, for example, you've been friends with this guy, you've had deep conversations about his past relationships, he has talked about crazy things, and then here he is showing you that he has transformed, he's now a new person, and he's suggesting, even if you had interest, would you proceed?
That's why I was saying sometimes we are blinded to the red flags. So you have to have you have to stay woke and be like, I can go in for this, I can't go in for that. It depends on what you can settle for, because the red flags are always there, and then you're not going to come back and say, oh, I didn't see this, or had I known. So it's entirely up to you to assess and be like, I can settle for this, I can't. But also people change. All of us have a story to tell. So it's up to you to assess and be like, this one I can take on, this I can't.
All right.
Yeah.
Your pros and cons are very key. Monitor them, and don't ignore the red flags just because you've been friends. And to those who always say like, okay, now I can't keep this friendship because I cannot watch someone else date her just in my face. Man, you're just being paranoid for no reason. Yeah, let go and let God. Otherwise, we appreciate, thank you so much for catching the show. And I'm going to tell you, this is how far we've come, yeah? The time has ticked out. And probably, let me just let Bonita say hello to a few people whom you know categorically could be catching the show right now.
Oh yeah, I'd love to send my regards to my family, my friends, my brother, Moses, I love you so much. My sisters, Vanice, Daphne, there are a number of them. Yeah, and also maybe I could shout out to the person that did my hair.
Please.
Yeah, it's a friend of mine called Patience. She has a salon in Tinda. It's called Ibiza Beauty Salon. She does very good work.
Patience, thank you so much for making her glow. She's looking so beautiful, and I appreciate that, of course. Anyway, we love you so much. Until then, peace and love. Adios.